Good morning, my name's Nick Guttridge. I'm EVP Business Development for Gardner Aerospace.
Gardner Aerospace, a new, bigger and better stand for Farnborough 2016.
Absolutely, it's bigger than we had here in 2014. We've grown 15% in terms of sales since the last time we were here at Farnborough. So we've got a bigger, better, more glossy, shiny stand, which we hope is attracting quite a lot of attention. Seems to have done so far, so we're very pleased with it. So let me take you on a little bit of a tour, show you a few features of the stand, but in particular talk about some of the things we've been doing with the business since the last time we were here.
So Nick, first of all, for those who don't know, what do Gardner Aerospace do?
So Gardner Aerospace is a manufacturer of aerospace detail parts. So we basically produce parts in metal from either billet or from sheet. So we either machine or fabricate sheet metal into finished parts and products. So the heart of the business is machining either soft or hard metal billets or fabricating parts from either hard or soft metal into finished forms. We then surface treat those parts and then add what we refer to as further added value services through assembly, through very complex kitting services, or through substantial speed shop services where we provide manufacturing products on a very, very fast turnaround basis from scratch. So these products here are actually a good example of where all of those things come together. So in this assembly that we produce for Airbus, for the A350 pylon, there are machine parts made out of soft and hard metal from aluminium and titanium, 3, 4 and 5 axis machine parts, but there's also a lot of sheet metal parts that go into this assembly as well. Aluminium fabricated parts as well, cold formed, brake pressed, rubber pressed, stretch formed. So virtually all of the different manufacturing capabilities of the business are in this final assembled product somewhere. But as you'll see, we don't just make the parts, we then surface treat those, finish them. You'll see them painted or treated in various different forms and then assembled into quite a complex assembly. In fact, what you see here on the stand isn't quite the finished product we deliver to Airbus. There are more cable harnesses, more fuel pipes fitted into this assembly by us before we ship to the customer. But it's a really good example of where all of the different things Gardner does comes together in a single deliverable.
How long has it taken to get such an important relationship with such a huge operation as Airbus?
That's been a long process. If we go back to 2003, when Gardner was frankly in a little bit of difficulty, we were a very, very small supplier to Airbus, maybe £1 or £2 million a year. Today it's nearer £100 million. Yeah, our operational performance as a business has improved massively over the last 10 years. Today our delivery and quality performance is exceptional. Our strategic status is really, really high in the eyes of Airbus today with our international footprint, our best cost country manufacturing operations, our ability to program manage, supply chain manage, logistically manage a very large number of differing part numbers and products. And that has taken a long time for the business to be able to perform in that way and have that strategic status. In fact, to round it off, only last month we were ranked number 1 out of all of Airbus Group's detailed part suppliers, which we're extremely proud of.
And of course you're now an international company.
Okay, so just to explain a little bit about what these numbers mean. If we go back to 2010, as I said earlier, Gardner very much UK-based, UK-focused. We had a very small business in northern Poland. Today, as you will see from this graphic, we have 690 employees in the UK, but we now have 280 in France. We have 380 in Poland, a massive expansion, and now 120. In fact, today it's 125, so that number's already out of date, and we only did that a week ago. So those facilities in Poland and India are growing dramatically, as I've said, because that gives us a best cost country footprint for the manufacture of appropriate parts, which makes the overall group more and more competitive. And that gives us the opportunity to win more and more new business, which is something we're doing almost on a monthly basis. So the Gardner Aerospace stand here at Farnborough 2016 is a number of display areas to try and highlight the different things we do. The one you'll see here is particularly focused on the machining side of our business. So machining parts from soft and hard metal, 3, 4, 5 axis, very small to quite large. and with numerous applications around the aeroplane, whether it's in the wing, in the cabin, in the fuselage, in the pylon, or indeed in the engine. So this exhibit here is highlighting our capability in the fabrication and manufacture of finished parts from sheet metal. Again, hard metal, soft metal, cold forming, so that's brake press, rubber press, stretch forming, all those sort of disciplines. Products you see here are what we call visual units. They're effectively part of the cockpit substructure which hold avionics or cable harnesses and cable assemblies. You've got products like the air inlet cover for the ATR aircraft, and a whole range of various brackets and ramps that we produce that fit all around the aircraft, in the pylon, in the cabin, fuselage, wing. So a very comprehensive capability in sheet metal parts manufacturing. What this display is getting across is the fact that not only do we manufacture parts and we do sub-assemblies, we also provide some fairly sophisticated logistics solutions to our customers. What you see here are 3 examples of kits with lots of manufactured parts that have come from all over the Gardner international manufacturing operation. So parts in here that have been made in India, in Poland, in the UK, in France, they all come together at our headquarters site in Derby, where we put them into kits and deliver these kits into Airbus helicopters in Germany, who manufacture and final assembly all of the main A380 passenger doors. You open and close when you get on the aeroplane. We've seen various exhibits, hardware exhibits on the stand. The Gardner story is also about management processes, tools, management capabilities, the business as a whole. So we've got some very interactive displays here on the stand where we can talk about how Gardner manages its business, how the business has grown, how it has internationalised in numbers and in people. So we're in Hall 1 at stand B50. Please come and see us if you can. If you can't, look us up at gardneraerospace.com.